It's the best and worst things about studying at Bournemouth University. Starting off with the worst.
Starting off with the worst. I don't think there's anything that like stands out to me as really negative. So it's not something I've experienced. I know from one of my friends' experience that sometimes in the past their accessibility for disabled people hasn't been great. But I also know when she's engaged with them, they've managed to sort things out with her.
And the best things?
I mean, one of them's the location. I love being near the sea. I love, I love being able to get down there on a weekend. I also think there's really good facilities. The library's great. I'm a bit biased because I used to work there, but the student bar is great. And also just the staff are really, really engaged.
I don't really think of any, but I guess back when in my first year, my accommodation is really in town. So yeah, there's not much really, to be honest.
Okay, so the best things about studying at Bournemouth University?
The beach. Yeah, every time I find myself like stressed or anything, I just have like a walk through the beach.
For me, the communication between the staff and students was probably the worst thing about it for me. I had in my second year a teacher, a lecturer, unfortunately fell ill in September, and they didn't replace him. So we had to self-teach an entire module, and the module was an exam which was 100% of the module. So for us, if we failed that, then we failed the year, which was obviously really quite daunting, and it was really stressful for everyone. And sorry.
I said anything else?
Another problem I had, and quite a few people had, there was some missed marking. I actually got a piece of work back, which was, I think it was 42. It was really close to being a fail, and I was really shocked. So I contacted the lecturer and I said, can I have some feedback about what went wrong? Because obviously I didn't want it to happen again. And then when I went through it, I found that I'd actually got 60, which is a 2-1. So it's quite a big jump. So that I just sort of think about it. If I didn't bother going and finding out what was wrong, I could have ended up with that, and that would have really brought my grade down.
Okay. Oh, so can you tell us the best things about studying at Bournemouth University?
I think the extracurricular activities are really good. I did the Global Talent Programme, which I think it was really good, and I think it looks great on your CV. It's really interesting, and they have a lot of extra facilities that other universities don't have. Like they do have in the library, there's a language learning area, which offers so many different languages that can really help you. There's loads of societies.
So if we go now into the London South Bank University, can you tell us the worst things about studying there?
Honestly, I mean, I've only been here for a term, so, I haven't really, and it's been in the pandemic, so it's been a bit of a strange term. But I don't know, it's been okay, to be honest. I mean, because it has been all online, well, pretty much all online, it has been a bit disjointed, and there has been some, again, communication issues. And I think it does seem sort of like a lack of teaching, where compared to when you're in uni, you have like so many hours in uni a week, whether online, I do feel like I am getting less teaching time.
Okay, so would you say this happened, did Bournemouth try online also?
Yeah,
So it's more of the online factor, less than the uni?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've only experienced this in my term during the pandemic, so I don't think it's something you'd face normally.
And the best things about London South Bank?
I really like the staff. I think they're really friendly. There's a lot less, so I feel like it's more personal, and I feel like they actually know my name and who I am and what I'm interested in.
Worst, excluding the pandemic and what that's done. Gosh, what would the worst thing about studying be?
Anything, or it could be nothing.
It could be anything. No, there's
always something. Being a Bournemouth student, it could not just be specifically the Bournemouth University, but this is about just being a student at Bournemouth.
What would the worst thing be? it might really just be sort of communication and an internal course structure, which I can't imagine is a problem that's limited to just my course and my university. So sometimes there's a bit of a breakdown in communication, or actually, to be honest, I'd say the worst thing would be sometimes not everyone's on the same page in terms of lecturers and students. You can feel that actually the world of academia can be a bit of a bubble world, and sort of rationally understanding what a student's perspective is sometimes lost a bit with
Could you go
lecturers.
into a little bit more detail of what you mean?
Yeah, of course, I'm being a bit cryptic. Sometimes, and this is just in academia in general, some of the language used in terms of how complex it is goes way over the head of the average person.
Okay.
And so that's just sometimes a problem and a bit of a jarring thing for me personally, because I feel lecturers, they do a lot of things and teaching students is just one of those. But as a lecturer, you're also an educator. And some lecturers have a vocabulary so complex that it's like they're speaking another language.
So like the words they say, they assume you just know.
They assume you know, or they assume even if you've heard of them, you can understand them in a sentence like that and just sort of be like, oh yeah, I know what they're saying. And it's like, but hang on a second, you're an educator, and using complex language for me, you know, it's like having this conversation now with a 5-year-old. It's kind of like,
It's just not going to connect.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you know. If you can't communicate it to someone, then you fail as an educator.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's I'd say, yeah, the worst thing that really sticks out for me. The best thing about Bournemouth in particular, the campus is always fantastic. Like many universities, Bournemouth has built a lot, so you've got sort of a lot of nice nice places to go work. But also, I'd really say it's the sea. We're right on the coast here, and being able to just literally nip down to the coast, even in midwinter when it's bleak and grey, and stare out at the sea, is just an incredible sort of. It gives you a peace of mind. It chills you out a lot, and especially if you're a first year, you're 2 minutes walk from the sea, and so it's the scenery and the setting's the best thing.
Start with the worst. It's a bit expensive. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it is a tourist destination in England. To be honest, I think that's one of the main negatives I can think of. It may be another one, even though that's not as bad, but the airport, it doesn't have that many flights, so essentially it's quite far away. For me to go home, I'll have to travel 5 hours to London and from there and so on. So it's kind of it's an amazing location where it is, because it's a beautiful town, but it's a bit far away from kind of traveling internationally, and it is a bit expensive. So I think that's the only kind of negative points I have about
And the
Bournemouth.
positive points?
It's absolutely beautiful. Like, I've traveled around England, and like Bournemouth will always stay in my heart. Like, it's a 15-kilometer beach line with an amazing sights, but also what you get in Bournemouth, it's not kind of the typical English town. It's quite like you get all kinds of people, and I think that's what the most important experience about being a student is. You obviously get the students, and they're from all kinds of backgrounds, but also in the summer, like, there is all kinds of people from everywhere in the world. So it is really nice. Also, the uni I've quite enjoyed the uni. It has a lot of stuff that they offer outside the curriculum, a lot of extracurricular stuff to do, like communities that you can join in. Like, you can get to do your own community. We've approached this as well, and the uni has this. It kind of supports you to kind of progress in whatever way you want, apart from the course you're studying, which is what I really like.